Hi, this is Dr. Gary. Welcome to our weekly tune-up this week. Well, first of all, I want to thank all of you for being in contact with me. Man, I'll tell you what, the last couple of tune-ups we've done have got a lot of attention from a lot of you. I think I've irritated a lot of you based on some of the feedback you've given me. However, more of you are saying we're right on target with the things that you feel are going to help you the most. Now remember, a lot of the subject matter I talk about here on the tune-ups are basically suggested by most of you. You're wanting to know my spin on things. Not my spin because of my own personal agenda, but my spin on coming from the experience of doing what I do for about 30 years of mentoring people and seeing many, many different cases and different challenges solved and what works and what doesn't work. One of the things that came up this week is the idea that people want to know, with my experience in doing this for such a long time, also focusing on neurolinguistic programming is really one of the thinking arts of how we can clean our thinking up. What do I think is the single most important thing I could tell anyone in any given moment to help them the most? The one thing. And man, I had to think about that for a minute. And I finally came up with something I realized that over the years I've helped people with, and the feedback I've got, they say that's helped the most of anything I've helped them with, or it's at least been long lasting. And that is the idea, you've heard me talk about this before, of time. Understanding how time works and understanding that the past and the present exist really only in our thoughts. And if we can understand that, understanding that the present moment is exclusive to this moment right here, right now, and the past and the future really is just a thinking thing. People think the most valuable thing I've ever told them is the more we can keep our mind focused in the present moment and let each moment transpose us into the future one moment at a time, keeping that one moment in control, helps them a lot in understanding they're in control of their future. So the whole idea and the whole premise here is simply this, that we focus on the future a lot of times, worrying about if we're going to have enough money to pay the rent or if we're going to be able to have enough money to survive and take care of our family. And then we look in the past with all of our regrets, all the crap that we wish we wouldn't have done, all the things that we look back now and say, golly, I wish I'd have done something different. But remember, at any given moment, at any given time, in the present moment, you're usually making decisions based upon your best knowledge at that time. And I believe, no kidding, I believe this, that every one of you, including myself, even as messed up as some of our decisions have been, we'd made the best choice we could in that moment based upon what we knew. I don't think anyone gets up thinking, I'm going to mess my day up today and make some really bad decisions. So the point I want to make today, and let's look at it this week, let's really pay attention to it this week, is let's live our life being present and accounted for in the moment where you're conscious, the moment where you're looking around at things, where you're paying attention to things. And understand when we start worrying, it's usually we're looking into the future, and it's usually based upon some kind of negative presupposition, like things aren't going to work out. Or if we're feeling guilty and we're upset or we're grieving, it's usually something in the past that we haven't resolved. And the best way to resolve those things is, first of all, from the present moment, look back and see what belief you took on based upon that experience. And what can you learn about it now, and how would you do it differently? If you can come up with something, then you've resolved it. You learned something. You see, the past is all about lessons. Not those kind of lessons, but lessons of learning, lessons of experience, lessons of learning how to live our life. So this week, let's work on anchoring ourselves firmly in the present moment, where we can affect change both inside and even outside of ourselves, even with other people. And understand the past and the future really are just a thinking thing. They don't even exist. This moment right now is where the power is, the power for you to make differences in your life. Not to be empowered, but to make choices. So until next time, this is Dr. Gary wishing you an extraordinary present moment kind of a week. Until next time, you have a great week this week. Bye-bye.